first point of the fourth.
From center, 15 love.
Well, if you remember, after the first set, Sampras was a little bit upset. He sort of got the crowd, pushed his hands up the air, said, come on, keep yelling, keep going. The quickest way to keep the crowd out of this match is by what he's done now. He's leading 2-1.
Dry signal.
Now the crowd really have to get behind their man, Boris Becker, to get him back into this match.
$30 love.
Dreißig from sand. 30-15.
I guess you can give him a shot like that, and of course if they go in you say what a brilliant shot, but it's such a low percentage play there, what he tried to do there from behind the baseline. Flatten the stroke out that much and go for an angle like that.
Vierzig from sand. 40-15.
First game of the fourth set goes to Becker, but Sampras of the USA, ranked #1, leads 2-1. There were two groups, red and a white group. The white group enjoyed Pete Sampras and Ivanisevic, Becker, and Edberg. The red group featured Agassi, Bruguera, Chang, and Beresategi. From the white group, Sampras and Becker emerged, and they took out Agassi and Bruguera, who emerged from the red group. This is the championship match, the World Championships on the line.
Boris Becker, the only man in the semifinals yesterday who had not won a Grand Slam title in 1994. Sampras, of course, won 2 of them, the Australian and Wimbledon. Bruguera defended the French. Agassi won the U.S. Open. But Becker is back out going for titles again. He's in a very good frame of mind, and again, as I say, I mean, he's committing himself fully, he says, for the next couple of years to do just that.
Well,
Nicely
he's only
cut
26, isn't he? He's only 26 years old, 27 next week.
27 in 2 days' time, yeah.
But as he says, he said in these days, being out there for 11 years already is quite an accomplishment. Bjorn Borg was out of the game by then.
Yeah, Borg had a different kind of game, though. Had a defensive style play. As you watch this replay, and Becker, as I said earlier, it's easier to play like he plays because he knows exactly what he's got to try to do every point. And guys like Mats Wielander and the defensive players have always got to, like Michael Chang, for example, always got to try to find a way to win a point. Jim Courier also has got that problem. I always envied the serve and volley players like yourself, Fred, because you just went out there and did what you did.
Oh, I worked very hard.
Still do.
A lot of help from the net.
It's so loose, it's so soft, that net right in the middle of the court. Gets tighter and tighter as you go wide. Look at this, boy.
Yeah, that was a good return from Becker, and he didn't get anything out of it because they're having a joke with one another. This is played in a good spirit. These boys are good friends. As Mary said, Pete went into Becker's locker room when they with the last match of the round robin, and he beat Edberg to allow Sampras into the semi-finals. But he'll take all the luck he can get today.
Becker is considered to be as charismatic a player as there is in the game, along with Andre Agassi.
Yeah, you got that right. I'll sign on to that.
I like what Yvonne Lendl says about Sampras. He says it's sickening that someone who's down to earth, reasonably clever, and wears nice clothes almost has to apologize for being the way he is.
For being world #1, yeah.
And just, people, the people who don't understand how beautifully Sampras plays the game.
It's just a matter of time before he's appreciated for what he is, which is the greatest player playing right now. He's got 5 Grand Slams under his belt already, closing in on the Connors and McEnroes in terms of numbers of singles wins. And he's just 23 years old.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, man.
yeah. Top spin. That's a clay court shot, that one, because you slide that one down the line. Becker was on the one down the line, and Sampras. What's Sampras here when Becker plays this little slice drop shot? It's not a bad shot. And he comes in the net, does the right thing, covers the one down the line. Sampras flicks it with a flick of the wrist, finds the angle. Look, low to high. Look at the contact point there. Finishes up, doesn't hit it with a heavy topspin, just enough to lift it up over the net and roll it cross court.
1 game more. You're watching the 4th set of this World Championship match between Becker and Sampras. Sampras leading by 2 sets to 1. First set went to Becker, and the next 2 to Sampras. Cliff Drysdale alongside Fred Stolley and Mary Carrillo. Yes. 30 love Becker.
Well, I'm doing it here. I'm saying when you're as watched as much tennis as we three here in the booth have watched, you don't often applaud tennis players. You see so much tennis, but look at this shot here. I watched Becker play against Edberg the other day, and I sat out there with my wife in the stands watching. I was applauding, and yesterday I'm applauding up here in the commentary booth. This is just fabulous stuff.
Thanks to the quality of these 2 players primarily, but also to the conditions that are a little bit slower, which gives each one of these players a chance to get the serve back at least. Having said that, only 3 serve breaks in the match so far, 1 in each set. Becker holds on, no breaks in the 4th set yet. 2 games to 1. The German leads. The American has 2 sets to 1. It helps to have the home crowd pulling for you. Yesterday, after his win over Bruguera, Becker talked about the obviously partisan crowds here at the Festhalle.
It's a pressure because the expectations are so high. They expect me to perform well. They expect me to make the last point. But on the other hand, those expectations can lift my spirits as well. And if the crowd wouldn't have supported me, not only today, but in the last couple of tough matches, the outcome might have been different. So they, once I'm able to play good tennis, they really help me a lot. And, I hope they do the same thing tomorrow, what they've been doing all week long.
For the moment, the crowd rather, is kind of out of it because Sampras has the lead here. They're waiting for a moment to get back into it. Interesting how they sense the important stages of the match.
They're a very learned group, the folks over here in Germany. Have been for many, many years. They like their tennis. And the rhythmic applause between points is to try and get their folks going. That's just a habit of the Europeans, I guess, because you don't find that type of thing happen in the United States, or for that matter in Australia or England. It's the rhythmic clapping that is pretty much a European thing. It's a European thing.
It's a Europe. Well,
easy game to Sampras, 2 games all.
He's giving them, these fans, you know, not too much hope. I mean, look at this. Sampras he played 1 bad game in this whole match. I mean, here we are, almost halfway into the 4th set, and the 1 bad game Sampras played was in the 1st set. And that's why he lost it. He's had, I mean, he's had very few unforced errors. A lot of winners. His serving has been consistent.
They both had a lot of winners in the winners department. They're both with Sampras is 52 and Becker's 51. It's the unforced errors that's cost Becker.
Exactly.
30-12.
And
another double fault.
Yeah, that's 12 double faults are included in that.
Yeah, and in a recap of this match, you have to say that in the 2nd set, Becker really helped Sampras out and turned the whole thing around when he served 5 double faults in 1 game to let Sampras lead in the set 4 games to 2, and then he served it out at 6-3, and that made it even. Without that little jolt at that time, could have been a very different story. Love 15.
Got away with it.
Love 30.
Got the ball back into play. That's what Bruguera did against Becker yesterday. Becker doesn't do much with this volley. Look, doesn't go near the line, and Sampras takes 1 good stride, sets himself. There's the step. 1 good stride, sets himself for the 1 down the line, and he hasn't missed that one on too many occasions. He missed 1 on a break point early in the 2nd set when he had an opportunity.
Yeah, good cover that time as Becker anticipated where he was going. That backhand pass has come alive for Sampras. That's what won him the 3rd set.
Becker keeps aiming there. No wonder it's gotten hot. Becker's gone there again and again.
Becker really
he
on
smothered the net on that one, Fred.
On the first volley, yeah, he does on this one. But on the return of serve, Becker very rarely will he go to the forehand because the grip that he has when he plays his backhand volley, it's a slice backhand volley, and he has to go to the forehand on most occasions.
Great volley.
Yeah,
super volley on that one. It was about as wide and deep as you could get without being out, and he wins the point back to 30 all.
Rising by 30 all.
I often show you a good look at Becker's grip on the serve, and he doesn't change the grip when he gets in the volley. It's pretty much a forehand grip. Have a look at it there. Pretty much an Eastern forehand grip that he uses, and he doesn't change it to make this backhand volley. Half volley.
Yeah, you're in trouble when you hit anything short and Sampras is able to get around it and hit the forehand, because that's what this one here is what set it up. Look.
There's the return of serve, sets it up and allows him to play this one, and then he can do anything of 3 or 4 different deals on that one. As long as he keeps his eye on the ball, he's going to win that point.
So we've got a break point for Sampras. He steers that one wide, and there is the break. That is the first break of the 4th set. He leads 2 sets to 1. There is a hush in this Festhalle in Frankfurt. 3-2. Sampras.